For 16 years, we've been building a site that's been called innovative, insightful, and informative. Now there's a new name for it. We're now NBCnews.com.
Back at 8:18 this morning on New Year, New You, 12 strangers who each lost 100 pounds and ended up running a marathon together. NBC's Carrie Sanders is in Fort Lauderdale with their inspiring weight loss story. Carrie, good morning.
Well, this really is an incredible journey of 12 people who didn't know each other. They were strangers, as you said, who are now 12 good friends. They bonded as they shed the pounds and as they crossed the finish line together.
I was 253 pounds at my heaviest.
At my heaviest, I weighed 349 pounds.
At my heaviest, I was 265 pounds.
At my heaviest, I was 275 pounds.
Katie, Carly, Ada, and Rick didn't know each other, but they did have one thing in common. They were overweight.
When I was a kid, I remember, I was getting teased at school, and my nickname was Shamu in the 4th grade. It really ballooned after I had both of my kids. My son wanted to learn how to ride a 2-wheel bicycle, and so I started running alongside his bike, and I couldn't keep up. I was so out of breath, and I remember just feeling like the worst mom in the world.
I knew I was overweight my entire life, but I think right after my son was born, that's when it really became a problem for me. My final straw was seeing pictures and seeing the actual size of me, because I think our perception in our head's a little different than the size we truly are.
Ever since I can remember, I was always overweight. If you see, most Asians are very petite and thin, so I pretty much stuck out like a sore thumb. And I was bullied and made fun of throughout my life, pretty much. I was always looking for the quick fix, and after years of doing that, you realize it doesn't work. I've been going up and down for years.
I was always the fat kid, the classic kid picked last in gym class. It's all I've known my whole life, was being the fat kid. I take after my father very much, and he's also a heavier person, diabetic, back trouble, and it just hit me one day as I was approaching 40. This is a preview of coming attractions. This is going to be me if I don't do something.
After hitting rock bottom, they all hit the pavement and started walking, then running. And along the way, each lost more than 100 pounds.
My first goal was just to run around my block without having to stop. And it took me about 6 weeks to get to that point. And I started seeing progress and started setting bigger and bigger goals.
Started training for a half marathon, and over the process of that training in the next year, I lost 100 pounds.
I probably ran, I don't know, like 100 feet, and I felt like my heart was being out of my chest, and it was pathetic. I just started running a little bit at a time, and I got better and better at it. I lost 99 pounds.
Running has changed my life completely. I started at 253, and my goal is 133, and that's what I'm at right now, so I'm happy at 133.
Through her blog, Katie brought together 8 other runners with similar stories. Together, they formed a team and stayed in touch online. Last week, the 12 strangers met for the first time for the Ragnar Relay Marathon in Florida. 200 miles from Miami to Key West over the course of 2 days. And at the finish line, an exhausting yet emotional accomplishment.
The one thing each says that they have learned is that there is no finish line in this race to better health. It's a lot like running, one step followed by the other. But in this journey, it never ends.
I think everyone needs to realize that it's not going to be easy. Nothing about losing 120 pounds was easy. I had to make a lot of sacrifices, but I made everything work into my life.
There are people watching saying, well, that's you, you're special. I couldn't do that.
We're not special. We are 12 everyday couch potatoes who just one day decided, I'm not going to do this anymore, and figured out a way to make it work.
It sounds simple,
It's not. It's a lot of hard work. But you start with something small, get off your couch, walk around the block today. And that's it. Do that today. Tomorrow, walk around the next block. Build small successes, and eventually, you're here.
And that incredible journey will be part of a documentary called From Fat to Finish, which will be released later this summer.